The NHL trade deadline for the 2022-2023 season is approaching, and lots of players are trending online as fans wait to see what moves their teams make. In the past couple of days, some big trades have already taken place. Manisa Danabalin joins us live with all the buzz. Manisa.
Kelly, it's been busy the past few days with the trade deadline coming up on Friday at 3 p.m. There's already been some major deals, but there's also some more coming up in the next few days.
It's an important time for the NHL season. Teams who are going to the playoffs are looking to pick up some players, while teams who aren't might look to offload good players for draft picks or young prospects.
Buyer teams are teams like the Leafs who, anticipate a deep playoff run. And seller teams are teams like Vancouver that have had really disappointing years. They're not going to make the playoffs. Their fans are irate. So they want to see their team sell off some of their older veterans. Those are usually the players that are traded at this point.
Here are some of the biggest trades made in the past week. The Toronto Maple Leafs acquired defenseman Jake McCabe and Sam Lafferty from the Chicago Blackhawks on Monday.
Well, the Hawks come up with it. Carpenter center to bounce pass in front. Lafferty, he scores!
McCabe has 20 points, 2 goals, and 18 assists in 55 games this season.
Not just for this year, but for a couple of years at a very reasonable contract numbers. And the thing in the salary cap era with hockey is it's not necessarily just how good a player is, it's how good they are relative to how much salary cap space they're taking up. So getting a player like Jake McCabe for just $2 million, that has a huge value. And so he doesn't have to be as good as an $8 million player. He just has to outperform being a $2 million player, and it allows them to deploy their money elsewhere.
The Leafs also added Erik Gustafsson to their roster, sending Rasmus Sandin to the Washington Capitals in exchange. Also today, Jesse Puljujarvi was traded to the Carolina Hurricanes by the Edmonton Oilers.
Pass ahead. Puljujarvi shoots and he scores!
I honestly like the move for them. He's going to give them more forward depth moving forward, but if he can find the scoring touch that he had just last season, he should be a solid addition to their third line moving forward.
And yesterday, the Buffalo Sabres acquired defenseman Riley Stillman from the Vancouver Canucks for forward Josh Bloom.
I think that's a depth move. I mean, it's not a great series of events potentially for Vancouver. They had to trade a second-round pick and Jason Dickinson for Stillman. I think most of that was to get rid of Dickinson.
The Tampa Bay Lightning picking up Tanner Jeannot from the Nashville Predators was also a big move.
That trade's so interesting to me because the Lightning gave up a lot, but at the same time, I understand why they did. He's such a physical player that he's going to make Tampa Bay so much more difficult to go up against during the postseason.
But we're still waiting to see what happens with Patrick Kane, who, according to multiple sources, will join the New York Rangers. Neither team has officially confirmed the deal.
Multi-time All-Star, 3-time Cup winner, pretty much a top-notch offensive player. He's somebody that actually has control of his destination because he's got a no-trade clause in his contract, so he can actually kind of decide which city he wants to go to.
And several reports say Mattias Ekholm from the Nashville Predators is heading to the Edmonton Oilers. Neither team has confirmed the official trade details.
Mattias Ekholm, he's clearly, I think, a more superior player to Tanner Jeannot. He carries a much bigger contract at $6.25 million for a number of years for a 32-year-old. And so, despite his big impact on the ice, that cap hit is challenging for teams to take on. And so, the return will be, I think, quite a bit less than Tanner Jeannot got for Nashville.
While trades can happen after the deadline, there is a price. If one happens following the deadline, then the player will not be eligible to play any regular season or playoff games for the new club.